All right.
Yes, sir. One thing about restitution, man. Once you owe it, you owe it. Ain't no coming up off of that, man, until you pay it. And the federal government want all theirs. So we feel like we want all ours.
And when we look at restitution, we look at equity as being a part of that. Because equity equals empowerment. That's our quote of the day, y'all. Equity equals empowerment. Because we need to have our disenfranchised communities empowered. And when we say that, we mean we want a hand up, not a hand up. Because once we get that hand up, man, we can get up and run on our own.
Right. Right, indeed.
All right. So let's move on to this next one, y'all. Because we want to talk about that town talk, want to talk about why is it that we want to responsibly defund the police and reinvest in communities. And this is one of the reasons why. This is just some of the reasons why. I mean, not only one officer, but two officers, three officers, over 500,000 in untracked overtime. Every year, this dude is the highest paid officer in California. Now, why shouldn't this money be going back into our communities? And when we talk about this, we're talking about over $1.3 million being misdirected from the community to a policeman's pension fund and pockets.
Right, man. I was reading the article, man, that this stuff came from, man. And it's ridiculous, man. It says the average compensation in 2019 for a police officer was $254,000, man. 254,000. And man, that's almost three times over what they salary is supposed to be, and that's just in untracked overtime, man. That's in guys, you know what I mean, just not really not being processed properly. It said 83% of the overtime was not even processed, went through the right channels or had the right paperwork filed in order for them to claim it, but they still got it. 83%. You know what I mean? And they average 254,000 per officer. Come on, man, that's ridiculous.
No.
Oakland is 80. They said Oakland is 90% higher than any other county in California as far as with the pay.
Anybody else, right? So
90%.
why wouldn't you want to be OPD? Why wouldn't you want to be OPD, man? You got immunity from prosecution for murdering people. You get to extort and prosecute people by your own decisions, your own liberties, and you get to lie and get paid for overtime that you ain't even did because ain't nobody gonna track it. Man, come on, man. That's like one of the best jobs in the world, man. Come on, man. Come on.
It's ridiculous, man.
And then
So when we say defund the police, man, we ain't saying just take all the money from them. They ain't gonna have no jobs. We ain't gonna have no police department. But get this shit right, man. Excuse my language, man. You gotta get it right, man. Ain't no way one officer should be bringing home $640,000 and all he doing is working the beat, man.
Hold on. How many of us wouldn't love to get paid for a job that we're already getting paid not to do, but then we can go ahead and do it and get paid twice? Come on, man.
Right. And I kind of misspoke. I said it's 90% higher. No, I didn't mean that. I meant it's higher than 90% of the other counties in the and cities in the state of California. Higher than 90% of the counties in the cities in the state of California.
So let's slide to that next one, please. Because now what we want to talk about is how you can take money from criminal-minded entities like that in the police department and redirect that money into community programs that will be reinvesting back into the people. And so when we look at some of these knocked down schools, some of these schools that have been shut down for years and years and years, some of these schools that only last for 2 or 3 months before they shut down and then they go into disrepair. We're talking about rebuilding our communities, and other cities are already doing that. And so me personally, I love Oakland. I say, man, Oakland is an innovator. Oakland is a leader. Oakland is a revolutionary. So let's get revolutionary with our reimagining how we reinvest these funds that we defund from the police.
Right. And in this article, man, it kind of spoke about what it would actually take for a program like this to run. and it was right. It was right in the $10 to $12 million range, which is far below the estimated what it would take, or excuse me, the estimated amount of money that this tax revenue should be bringing in, which goes to show you that programs like this can exist in our own city. You know what I mean? And within the Emerald New Deal structure, and still be plenty of money left to fund other programs in other ways.
Exactly. Because what we're talking about is how can we repair the harms done to our community in multiple ways, right? In multiple ways that would bring about, multiple results of progress and people who are now empowered. So and as you see, there's this old school. And for those who don't know, Granville T. Woods was a great inventor for black folks way back in the day. And if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but if I remember correctly, he was also one of the surveyors for Washington, D.C. So when I was in the pen, I did a little bit of reading and stuff like that there, man. Had to learn my history. So
Yeah.
let's slide up. And so you take this building that has not been used since 2013, right? And now you reinvest in it, and now you're able to house people. You are able to train people. You are able to get people on their own feet again. And we're talking about those coming home who don't have the technical knowledge of cell phones, because they didn't have them inside. Man, this is your best friend out here, man. We all know that, but they don't know it when they come home, right?
Yeah.
And the
That
old
Inglewood program. Yeah, the Inglewood program also has a culinary teaching school. They also do a lot in cultivation. They have a garden there that they help people learn to cultivate and grow. It's just a lot of different stuff going on, man, and it's geared towards people that were formerly incarcerated that are coming home, like my uncle was just saying, man. And if you really just ride around and look around the city of Oakland, man, there's buildings everywhere. There's places everywhere where if money and time, exactly, if money and time were invested, there's plenty of people, trust me, there are plenty of people coming home from prison that would love to be able to be in a program or be put in a position where it would be easier for them to stay home, right? But it's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard when you don't have that help.
Yeah, so when you look at something like this, right, this is also an environmental impact type of project, right? Because it changed the environment that was previously there. One that had this building with disrepair, stuff dripping into the cement, being stained, the animals, the pestilence that's involved in those kind of buildings. So now you take that eyesore out of the community, and then you reinvest in a community by rebuilding that eyesore into something beautiful for everybody to be a part of, right? And they're talking about actual pharmacy there. They're talking about job training there. They're talking about these things that are now there in the community where now all you have to do is walk down the street to get medical treatment. So that's what we're talking about, man. Those are the things the Emerald New Deal can be invested in. We have a perfect example right here in East Oakland. This used to be a dope day. This place has not been up and running since 2008. And so this big old gigantic building that could house at least 50 people while also educating them during the day and allowing them to become to the point where now they're career minded, they're mission minded, because somebody took the time to invest in them coming home, right? This is what we need for our community to help rebuild our community and bring our mentors back home. You need a mentor when you came home, Lil Rob.
Right, I did, and you did a great job. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, I didn't have one when I came home. I just wished I did, but I want to become one for others. And I know we have people on our team who have that ability also. And we have people out there on those streets right now who are doing the good work. So help us end the cycle of neglect. Next one, please. So now we're here with this community clapback. What is the Oakland cannabis industry doing about equity? Now, what is the cannabis industry doing about equity? You know, we do know what they're doing in other cities, like out there in Chicago, out there in other states like Illinois. So they have those weed companies vowed to hire those hurt by the war on drugs and move and more in milestone agreement cannabis equity coalition. So we have an equity coalition in Oakland, where we have an equity program in Oakland. But that equity program that we have does not track the licenses of people that they pass them out to, right? So what that means is you give somebody a license, but you don't help those people learn how to run their business. You don't pay attention to whether those people are successful or not. So don't come around here talking about this as an equity program. An equity program, like I said, was about giving people a hand up. A license does not make a business, right? So
Right, right.
keep it
So
clean.
yeah, exactly, man. They giving out these equity licenses, man. It's kind of like we talked about before, like the Rooney Rule in the NFL. They pulling people in. It was put in place to give everybody the equal opportunity to get jobs, but they got a handful of black guys they pull in just to interview, knowing that they're already just gonna look past them. They just trying to meet their quota. So right now with this equity licenses, man, they just passing them out to people. And here, you go ahead, take it. Whatever you're gonna do with it, do with it. They're not putting nothing in place trying to make this a viable entity or a viable job. You know what I mean?
No, and then, nephew, the fact that they don't track the training procedures that were put in place along with those licenses. They were supposed to train 5 people to be able to apply for licenses themselves. But there's no record of whether 5 people have been trained by any of the corporate cannabis owners who have received equity licenses, right? So, what we're talking about is this right here. If you're really going to say that you're investing in the black and brown communities, those communities that have been harmed most by the war on drugs, then that's what you should be doing. And this is one of those ways that it can be done, right? They are providing 100% living wage, 100%, right? They're hiring 75% of their employees from these communities. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't think so. With 75% of your employees being hired from the community, I don't think you're gonna be getting robbed that much because they're all gonna know everybody. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If I was a corporate cannabis owner, I would be thinking more about engaging the community as opposed to hiring police to enforce the community. I'm just saying. That's me. All right, go ahead, Rob. And we're supposed to be on that next one now because man, this right here, man, is really close to me because I know that our people deserve to have a place in this industry in Oakland because we're the ones who created it in the first damn place. And our
True.
community still got the best damn shit. Excuse my language.
You crazy.
I'm just saying. So
Yeah,
let's
man, but
stop
you're
playing
right.
with the game. And if you really are saying, you know what, this can be an industry that actually moves this city, then act like it and include everybody in it. Follow up on these licenses to make sure people learning these businesses. Make sure that these people are training the people that they're supposed to. These cultivators, these managers, all these people need to be cultivated. These people need to make sure you need to make sure that these people are getting what they are supposed to get from these corporate cannabis owners. Straight up. And that's what the Emerald New Deal is about. It's a way for us to reinvest in our own people by taking it away from the city who hasn't done it yet and isn't doing it right. You can't be saying that you're doing it when nothing is happening, especially when you don't have any measurables, you don't have any deliverables, none of that. Everybody else who forms contracts have that. Why doesn't the city? For an equity program. Come on. All right, so of course we're glad to be here with y'all again on a Wednesday. And you know, this is the Emerald New Deal. We're trying to get 100% of the cannabis tax revenue removed from the general fund and placed in the community equity fund where it will be reinvested back into our community. So we've shown you a few examples from other cities, how they're doing it. We have a plan of our own, but we want to hear everybody's voice about how we can change our city, how we can make Oakland what we want it to be, how we can bring Oakland back and reclaim our city.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We want to thank y'all. We say come back next week, and we will see y'all later.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all coming out, man.